It's the holiday season, so that made me start thinking about the 12 days of Christmas. So how can we and Nick do the 12 days of Christmas? So I have put together the 12 days of Christmas to share with you all. And I'm actually planning when I get off here this afternoon to do a little video with it to go on my Google My Business page and also on Facebook. But I thought it was a great way to talk about the products and share them with people. So that's where we're going to start. And so on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. And I don't know how this is going to show up with this background. This is something I'm learning. It's not showing. It's the waterfall. Other things show better, but gave me a waterfall, and that's an unlimited supply of alkaline water. And so when you give that to somebody, that tells them that you want them to live long and well. Because one of the things that we know is that alkaline water is very, very, very good for your health. On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me my shower head and I think when I do this, I'm going to do it in front of the Christmas tree, so it'll be better. And there we go. It's got to be in front of me. And my water bottle. So when you give this to somebody, you've given them an infinite supply of alkaline water that they can travel and go anywhere. When you give somebody a shower head, that may be even almost a better gift. Because in all of our water, if we have municipally treated water, it's got chlorine, and chlorine is a carcinogen. So when you have this, then you don't have to worry about it because it takes out the chlorine. And it's so easy to install that you can take it with you. Now, a lot of you know I used to travel a lot because of COVID, not so much now. But the other weekend, I was at the coast because I got a place that I could enter and exit on my own, nobody coming in or out, and I had a kitchen in it so I could cook. And guess what I carried with me? I carried my water filter and I put it up. So these are two great gifts for anybody. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 shower filters, and I got to get them all here in front of me. So now the cool thing about this is if you buy a water pack and when you sign up as a new consultant and you get a water pack, not only do you get that waterfall, you get the Pymag water bottle, you get the shower head, but you also get filters for every single one of those. So the thrifty shopper might want to get a water pack for Christmas, and that would take care of the first 3 days. Let's see. On the 4th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 amazing energy and immune boosters. So what is my very favorite immune booster? Well, that's my immunity. And it is my go-to that I take every single day. It is 14 different kinds of mushrooms, and mushrooms have all kinds of health benefits. And we know that right now in the middle of this pandemic that we need to have a healthy immune system. So what goes with that perfectly? Well, it's lactoferrin, and I don't know. We'll try to make that show up there. It doesn't want to show up in the light like it should. Lactoferrin works on the gut. It's a prebiotic, so it's feeding the food that feeds the probiotics. And in Germany, they call this Japanese penicillin, because whenever something starts going on, and I will tell you that last Wednesday and Thursday, I don't know what kind of virus it was I don't think it was COVID. I didn't have the COVID symptoms, but obviously something was not right. I took extra immunity. My immune system did what it's supposed to do. I didn't get sick. The third member of this group is the Super Siaga. Now, I call this my Nican flu shot. I personally don't take the flu shot, but I use Super Siaga because Super Siaga has elderberry in it, and elderberry kills flu viruses in a petri dish. It also has the mackay fruit from Chile, and in Chile, they use mackay to treat cancer and heart disease and all kinds of things. At Nikin, we don't diagnose, treat, or cure, but we do things that support the immune system. And Super Ciaga is a super
That's in here.
Now, this is my fourth one because that's what I'm telling you. The fourth day of Christmas is a bang because these are products I really love. And this is our Kinko Vital Balance. And I love Vital Balance. This is my breakfast. A lot of times it's my lunch. If it's not my lunch, I usually will have it for a shake in the afternoon. This is full of probiotics. Duke University Medical Center is doing a study on people's guts and how that affects their getting the COVID virus. Now, 80% of your immune system is in your gut. So do you think you want to have a strong, healthy gut in order to have a strong, healthy immune system? And this is a key. It's also great for concentration. And we all, well, at least I know, I need all the help in that area I can get. On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 dreamy sleep aids. So all you have to do to get the 5 dreamy sleep aids is buy the Cozy Winter Pack. You get the comforter, which regulates temp so that husbands and wives don't kill each other at night fighting over the covers. And it helps your body relax and feel really good. You get a sleep mask. Take out all the darkness, take out all the blue light and the light so that you can get into that deep sleep. Also, ladies, it's great for lines around the eyes, and none of us want those. And you get a pillow that supports you and just helps you go 2 of those. So, that's a really good day. In that one day, you're getting those 5 things. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 energy boosters. So let me tell you about them. Jade Green Enzymes is one of my very favorite. Jade Green Enzymes, you could live off of this product. If you did nothing but take this in, you would survive because it has all the essential amino acids that your body can't make for itself. It's a great detoxer. It supports blood pressure. I mean, it is amazing. I've seen people that were on blood pressure medicines, and when they started putting this into their diet, it went away. I love the sports band. This is a wristband. Put it on your wrist. There's actually some acupressure points on your wrist that can even affect blood pressure or can affect allergies. So wearing this is awesome. Then this is the sports band necklace. And I love one of these. I have one. I've actually got one on under my shirt here, even though I've got my pretty one here. But this is great. It will help energize you. You're never going to get too many Nikin magnets. And the reason is our magnets are the same, have the same frequency as the Earth's magnetic field. Look here, one of my favorites. These are insoles. A pair of magnetic insoles. If you've got those in your shoes. A few years ago, I had a friend who was a pretty bad diabetic and had bad feet. And she got a second job doing samples and stuff at grocery stores. And the first night that she worked, she came into a networking group with me and she said, "Oh my God, my feet hurt so bad." I said, "You need a pair of these." She got them. At the end of her next shift, she sent me a email and she said, "Oh my gosh, Kimball, I would have never believed that they would have made the difference they would make." What goes great with those? It would be the Kinko MagFlex. And the MagFlex is for your back. We call it the back flex. And you can put it in the bottom of your pants. If your lower back hurts, if you're a lady and you're wearing a bra, you stick it right up under your bra and hold it in that back area. And those magnets just relax and promote relaxation and comfort. So that's a huge energy booster. And then one of my favorites, that would be, here we go, the Kinko Ground. The Kinko Ground, you can use it all the time. When I'm on the computer, I'm using it. When I am sleeping at night, I'm sleeping on it. So there are 5, that was 6. Those are 6 energy boosters for you. Now, On the seventh day of Christmas, my true love gave to me. Okay, we're a bunch of ladies on here. We like to look good, right? Well, Nickens got us covered. They've got our fruit elements. We have our velvety cleansing milk, which I absolutely love. And this stuff lasts a long time because my husband and I both use all of these products. And we can buy them, and they are good for the two of us for 2 to 3 months. So they last. And I wash my face every morning and every night. But this velvety milk cream, the reason I like it is it takes off eyeliner and all of that without, those things don't come off easy. Well, when I put that on, it wipes right off. And then the refreshing tonic, it doesn't dry you out, but it's really good because it changes the pH of your skin back to what it needs to be after you've washed. Then at night, I use my youth serum, and I love this product. This is a product that keeps the skin here not looking crepey. And I've got this little patch of like a callus or something. My doc says, oh, it's nothing to worry about. But sometimes it looks kind of funny. But as long as I'm putting this on it every day, it keeps everything looking. And I've had this squinty line since I was in my 20s. And I think it really looks better in the last year that I've used it regularly. Because until the last year, I didn't use it every night the way I do now. But doing that, I've seen a big difference. And then this is the moisturizer. And I just love this moisturizer because when I put it on every morning and it just follows up with this other, and my skin has such a great texture and it feels so good. And I know I'm not getting younger. So the fact that it still looks good makes me very happy. And then about once a week, I use the scrub, and the scrub is great because that gets off all the old stuff. Now we want our hair to look good. When does our hair look good? Well, your hair looks good when your scalp is healthy. And so we're really thrilled that we have the shampoo and the conditioner. And when you buy them, they come in a pack of 3 so that you get 2 shampoos and a conditioner. And I will tell you that is probably enough shampoo and conditioner for 2 people for a year because you don't use a lot of this. But what is so cool is when I put this shampoo on, you want to massage it into your scalp because your scalp really determines how healthy your hair is. And it makes my scalp tingle. It's got the magnetic and it's got the ceramic particles that increase the flow of blood, and it feels so good. And then when I put the conditioner on, it's just really, I love it. So that's what my true love did to me on the 7th day is my true love spa'd me. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 solutions for achy joints. You know what? Even young people have achy joints. I was just talking to a young lady last hour who was telling me how bad her back's hurting, and she's not even 18. So there's a lot of people around with achy joints. So we have some things. This is one of my favorites. It's joint. I have a brother who's morbidly obese, and he has a great story he tells of when he was taking his kids to Disney, and he called me up and he was using this product. He said, I've run out of it, Kimball, and I can't walk, but when I take the joint, I can walk, and I've got to be able to walk in Disney with my kids. So we brought it in, and he came by, and I gave him a bottle of it. And then he called me from Disney. He said, I'm walking around with my kids and it's great. Anybody you know that has those achy joints, when Arthur is calling, this is a wonderful thing. So that was one of those. Now, CM cream, this is the topical form of that. And I tell you what, anywhere that you rub it, it will be better. And the trick to it is rubbing it in and rubbing it in and rubbing it in. They say that you rub it in 10 different times. You can do it over 10 to 15 minutes. And every time that you're rubbing, you put some more on, rub it in, it'll penetrate deeper. And I call it WD-40 for the body. Never found anybody that didn't enjoy this and didn't get benefit from it. Now, BDZ and calcium. Bone health is so important. And, calcium is very good. And this is the type of calcium we have is this type of calcium that our body uses. That's not always true. This is a bioidentical. So our bodies know what to do with this calcium. But you know what? Sometimes the body has problems getting the calcium into the bones. And that's where BDZ comes in. And the 3 major ingredients in BDZ have all been written up in the International Journal of Osteoporosis. Now, that's near and dear to my heart because osteoporosis, my Aunt Mamie was a wonderful Christian lady who lived to be about 98 years old. And she got a lens transplant when she was, I think, about 89, so she could get her driver's license again. But the last 2 years of her life, she spent in bed. And I'm going to tell you, it wasn't all that bad. Her best friends came over Saturday night because she played bridge every Saturday night, as long as I can remember. They would play it by her bedside. But I don't want to have osteoporosis that bad. These two are a great way to support your body's bone health. And one of the things about BDZ is one of those special ingredients. You know, if calcium doesn't get in the bones, it can deposit into your heart. It can end up in your kidneys, these places. It helps reabsorb the calcium that may have gathered at places it doesn't need to be and put it back in your bones. So this is great. Now, the other thing that we have are our amazing wraps. And we've got wraps for the wrists and wraps for the knees and wraps for the ankles and wraps for the elbow. And my favorite is the back wrap. And I love that because it goes around. It also has a little compartment. So if you want more than just the reflective fibers, you can also put your MagFlex in it or your Kinko Flex and wear it there. And these things will give you a lot of comfort if the achiness is bothering you. Now, on the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 feet of duct tape. Now, for those of you that grew up in the South, Southerners always known that you could fix anything with duct tape from your car to your house. Well, Nikin decided that you could fix your body with it. And I have a hard time sometimes explaining this to people because they're like, well, is it just because it's kinesio tape? And I'm like, no, don't worry about stretching it. Just put it on, rub it so it stays, and then feel the difference. And what really freaks people out is a lot of times within a couple of minutes, they'll notice that.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. And we have it in peach and in black. So that's what the 9th day looked like. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 massages, some with the Mag Duo. This is great because the Mag Duo, you can take it with you anywhere you go and you just rub it. And oh my goodness, it's like an infusion of comfort and relaxation. Then maybe you don't like to rub it. This is the Kinko Touch. And the cool thing about it is it has its own little motor. You just keep recharging it. My firstborn grandson had a very big head. He did. And, you know, I'd watch that little head just bob along. And I used to take this and put it on his neck because I knew that if my head bobbled like that, so I knew the same thing for him. And so when he was growing up, he would come and get the Kinko Touch and he'd turn it on and put it by his head and he'd go, ah. So if that can help a little baby, you know it can help you. So on the 11th day of Christmas, my true love brought to me, he gave me 11 packs of matcha green tea. So what makes matcha green tea so special? Well, I'll tell you. Matcha green tea has a different kind of caffeine that doesn't blow out your adrenals. In fact, it kind of supports and massages them. It gives you energy. It also detoxifies. In fact, matcha tea is what the monks use before they meditate. So what would be better than something that the monks use to meditate to help keep you focused on your day? And on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me, he gave me 12 Kinko Power Minis. Now, and since we're all ladies on this, you'll get the joke. I know that a male engineer devised this, but there's actually 12 little tiny magnets in this with the little sticker so you can stick it just where it hurts. This past week when I wasn't feeling well, I had one by this temple, one by this temple, and one right in the center of my forehead. And that really got me through. Whenever I have any kind of sinus problem, we help there, but you can put them on whether you've got muscle aches. When I dropped a tailgate on my great toe, I wore one on it for a couple of weeks. I mean, these little magnets are great. So there are the 12 days of Christmas with Nikin. And we have so many other products that are great for Christmas presents. And you can divide them up. One of the things I do, and I plan to put one of them together, is I will go to a thrift store and get some of their Christmas mugs. At a thrift store, you can get those for $1 or so. And I'm sure there's a bunch of them at Goodwill or Guardian Angel or wherever you want to go. And I will take like 2 packs of the green tea and put in there and a couple of other things, wrap it up, and I have an immediate gift to give to someone. So, when you give the gift of Nikin, you're giving a gift that is going to support and promote the person's immune system. We got 65 products, and I always say the best place to start for any family is with water. Get your water out of the way, because when you're hydrating, and if you hydrate first, then all the other products work better. So, any questions? Or I'd love to hear some stories, because we have Melissa on here. Who wants to share a story that they've got with the Nikin product?
I will.
All right, Cece, tell us.
As you were talking about your 12 days with the little magnets, I've suffered from migraines since I was 19, and I would have to stick my head in ice, in ice water, and just try to make it go away, because I didn't ever want to take Imitrex, and I didn't want to take the other stuff. And once I got those from you, the first time I used them, I thought, I don't want to have this tape. Well, I could put them back behind my ears and you couldn't see them. And then if I ever ran out of the little tape that it comes with, I just stick it on with my Nikin duct tape. And so that's my little trick, is I put it back behind my ears. So it helps with my headaches and my migraines. And I have so many clients who have a migraine, whether it's once a month or regularly. And that's my little trick that I tell them. And they thought I was crazy. I think every single one of them, they're like, okay, I'm going to stick this little thing behind my ear. But then I gave it to somebody on a Sunday night, and he called me. He's a general manager for an auto parts store. And he called me the next day at 10 o'clock in the morning on his break. And he said, these things are crazy. And I said, what's wrong? I don't understand. And he said, no, I woke up and my head isn't hurting. They're fine. It doesn't bother him. Nobody notices it. It's fine. Like, he was just so amazed that it was so helpful. Just a little tiny magnet behind his ear. And anyway, they love it. I love it. It's one of my greatest tricks, because if I can't think straight, then I can't even talk, and I can't even work. And sometimes I don't even want to open my eyes when my migraines are that bad and there's too much light. So it's so helpful. It kind of just balances it all out and makes that part all go away. So.
And if it's a sinus headache, I had a patient come into my office about a year ago, and she says, I've had a sinus headache for a week. My sinuses are completely blocked. And I said, well, this is going to be kind of weird, but can I put a magnet right here in the middle of your forehead? And she was like, sure, I could care less. And I know she didn't really think it was going to happen. After about 2 minutes, she went, my sinuses have opened up, and I've been hurting a week, and it's not hurting now. And I said, yep. And she says, wow. Another hack that we'll call it for sinuses is taking the CM cream and rubbing it over those frontals and right here under your eyes. And when you do that, a lot of times that will open those sinuses up just like that. So for people who have those. Well, Shirley, you've got a good story with the tape. So tell us about the tape.
Well, several years ago, we were getting ready to go to Nikin convention in Texas, San Antonio. And I had had some trees fall on my storage building in my backyard. And when the tree people came and took care of those, they put quite a few lumps and bumps on my ground out there. And as we were unloading the things in the building that had gotten damaged with the rain and carrying it away to the green boxes, I turned my ankle when I was loading things up onto a trailer. My daughter looked at my foot and she says, "Mom, you're not going to be able to go." We were driving to our convention, and she said, "You need to stay home, prop your foot up, keep it up in the air." Well, Kathy Reynolds had the Nikan duct tape, which I had not purchased yet at that time. So when I got to Kathy's house, wrapped it up, it took away the pain, took away the swelling, made the trip fine. When we got to the convention, we had to walk from the motel to the convention center. We even went down around the Riverwalk, and had it not been for the duct tape, I probably would not have been able to go, and it was wonderful. I also love my insoles. I'm 75, almost 76, but I still work part-time catering. And some days you have to work 2 shifts. So when you're on your feet for a long time, fixing food, loading food, then driving, delivering it, unloading it, setting it up in the factory, feeding the employees, which we can't do any of with our COVID times, but it would make for long days. And with the Nikan insoles, my feet and my legs did not hurt. If I happened to wear shoes that didn't have them in them, it made a big difference. So I make sure if I go to work, I've got my Nikan insoles in my safety work shoes.
Yep, that can make a big difference. Jeff, I want you to give your sleep testimony because you've got a really good story about what a cozy winter pack might do for somebody. So tell about your sleep issues.
Well, I was hit by a car when I was 16 and had nothing but kind of aches and pains and just a terrible time. But I had restless leg that came after that, and the restless leg, most people just get like restless leg, but I had restless leg and restless arms. And it's something I would not wish on anybody. It's an absolutely miserable situation. I mean, it just makes you want to pull your hair out. It's just so bad. But that had been kind of getting progressively worse, probably from the time I was hit by the car right up until the time that we got in Nikan. But they had done a sleep study on me and had determined that I had, restless limb, which is arm and legs, and sleep apnea. And they were thinking of putting me on the CPAP. Well, and they were having to give me iron infusions every 3 months to keep the restless leg under control. They tried all the different Parkinson drugs, and that didn't really help it. But I was due for an infusion, and but I hadn't gotten in to get it yet. We got our sleep system probably, it could have been the first night, but I know at about 2 weeks, Kimball said to me, "You hadn't had any restless leg, have you?" And it's like, "Oh yeah, I hadn't have a." And I mean, just like that, it went, and it's just been the greatest thing in the world for me because that's just a miserable situation.
One things I love about that is when he went back to UNC, the doctor said, "You've never gone more than 3 months without getting an iron infusion in the 3 or 4 years he'd been giving them to him." And he said, "What did you do different?" And he said, he says, "Because you got to have done something." He said, "Well, I got this magnetic mattress pad." And the doctor wrote in his record at UNC, "Canceled CPAP order, symptoms resolved with magnetic mattress pad." And that was pretty cool. Because we don't diagnose or treat. But you know what? Sometimes when you use these products, amazing things happen. So, anybody have any questions today? Oh, Melissa, you're muted. Take yourself off mute.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I can.
Oh, good. So where would I get? I like the stories because we have a lot of stuff going on here as far as like pain and et cetera, et cetera. What the supplements, the tapes, the creams, those, do they just make it more tolerable? It's not healing it per se, or is it?
Okay, we don't diagnose and we don't treat
Right.
and we don't cure. What I can tell you is there are people that have used the joint that were told they'd have to have a knee replacement and they didn't. And the cartridge came back. Now, I'm not saying it came back because they used the joint, but it came back.
Right.
You know, when we're talking about gut health, that's something you're going to have to do on an ongoing basis because you got to take care of the good bugs that are in there. So it's not, you know, so it's kind of a mixed bag. It's what we say our products do is support. I believe that God made our bodies to heal itself if we give it the right tools. And these are natural energy tools. So we're not really healing it. Although if you put that tape on somewhere that you've got a burn or a cut, Cecilia, share what happened to your grandfather with the use of the tape.
I have so many crazy stories with the tape, like magical.
Yes.
This one in particular, my husband and I got the privilege of nursing my grandfather who was getting ready to leave. He was going to pass. And we got to take care of him for about 4.5 months. And in that time, when we first got to him, because he lived here in Arizona and we were back home in North Carolina, we saw all his bed sores. And the first thing in my head is when one of our kids gets cut or has an ailment, a muscle ache or something, I always put tape on it. And when I saw the bed sores, I said, I'm going to put tape. I'm going to just check with Kimball and make sure there's not going to be anything bad that could happen to him. I mean, for goodness sake, he was trying to get to Jesus and I just didn't want to make it worse. And so the only thing I did was, if the sore was here, I put tape here and I put tape here. And I took photos every day. And that pink, red, inflamed skin went to healed, natural skin that was growing. And as much as his spirit was leaving, his body was capable of doing these amazing things. And it was probably the saddest time of my life, but it was the most gratifying that I could make him not have that pain, that pain. Because I mean, when you're at that stage, you have so much ailment in your whole entire body. And to know that his spirit, his body was still trying to do what God naturally gave us was just it was just so much for me. And it was crazy. The pictures are amazing. And we use it for everything. My husband just dropped a Halloween decoration on his foot and he broke his toe. And we put we love the hocus pocus. So we have these stones in our yard and he was putting them away on the day after Halloween, like a wonderful husband. And he came in the house and he had a horrible mouth. And I said, what did you do? And he said, I think I broke my foot. And I was like, oh my gosh, we are not going to the hospital. So you better just get over it. And I said, sit down and let me check it. And I looked at it and his second toe, he was a basketball player in college. So he has some jacked up fingers and toes and just bad stuff. Well, it was crooked already. Well, it was worse and it was getting swollen. And I said, put this in your mouth. I'm about to tape it up. And I put one of those little magnets. I put a magnet on it and I put the duct tape, and he was walking on it just fine within 3 days. And it was sore.
Wow.
He said, it's sore, but it's not really hurting to walk. And I said, good, because that's it. That's what's happening. And we redid the tape 3 days later because showers and whatnot, and did it again. We consistently kept that little magnet taped to him with Deacon duct tape, and it was fine. In a week's time, he was able to wiggle the toe. In 2 weeks' time, he said he had no pain. So we didn't go to the doctor. I was the doctor. Right. Nikan was my pharmacy. But anytime, that's my go-to, because it's not that I don't want to use medicine from the doctor. It's just that I know that this is amazing in itself because he made it that way. And if I just put all of the medicines together that I know he gave us, it fixes. And that's what Nikan gives me. So I was going to say too, the gut stuff, like Kimball says, we don't diagnose, but my gastroenterologist, he said he didn't go to school to study Nikan, but I have atrophic gastritis, which is just a really horrible gut. And I was diagnosed with it at 38, and it could be a precancer for me. Well, it was pretty bad in the first few scans. And he was telling me, you have to do these things if you want any kind of comfort. And later in life, we could be doing these things. Well, I was immediately scared, not even being 40. And Kimball said, Jade Greens will help. VitaBalance will help. I just needed to do what was going to help because I have 4 children. I wasn't even 40. And I wasn't ready to go anywhere except for here. I love Jesus all day long, but I'm not ready to go anywhere. And I will fight to make this work as much as I can. And I did that. And for 2 years, I did that straight. And when he did my scans, the next time, because you have to wait, my regimen is to be scanned every 2 years to make sure the cancer is not there. And so when he did it, he said, what are you doing? What's happening? And I told him, and I brought in the list just like I did the first time. And I said, this is everything I'm drinking and eating, because I really can't eat all the normal stuff like normal people anymore. And he said, after 5 or 10 minutes of reading through the lists of ingredients, he said, this is amazing. And he said, it's not gone, but your scans look 100 times better than the scans before. So just keep doing that. And that's what I keep doing. And every time my scans are okay. And it's not, okay, we have to do this now. And I feel like when we get there, then it'll be time for that. But right now it's time for me to do what I think can work, and it's working. So for me, the supplements are everything.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Nikan is a great company, and I've got some things that I'm going to announce to you today. If you're interested in products, there are going to be some price adjustments that will occur right after the first of the year. Now, those adjustments are going to make it possible so that when people buy the larger products, like the sleep systems and the water systems and the air system, the shipping on those will be for free, which is going to be an amazing thing. But because of that, some others will go up, not huge amounts, but little amounts. But if you know somebody who is interested, has that entrepreneurial spirit, and let me just real quickly, let me tell, Nikan came about because of one man who had a family problem. And Mr. Masuda had a child who needed surgery, and he didn't have the money. So he needed to find a way to pay for it. And he had an entrepreneurial spirit, and he created the first insole. And with that insole, that one product, he went to $1 billion in sales in less than 5 years. Nowhere but on the island of Japan. And Barbara, I will get you in just a second. I see you're raising your hand. So he had one problem. He created a solution for it. That solution created a global wellness community that has changed millions of lives. And in Latin America, this is going off the charts. On Thursday, our president, Luis Kasuga, who is from Mexico, he's very interesting. He's a Japanese Mexican. And we always say he has the heart of Masuda. He was made our general operating officer. And we are going to a whole different setup and way that we're going to do Nikken. And if someone wants to become a consultant, the new price will be $19.99. So for $20, you will be able to sign up and become a consultant. You can get your products at wholesale, which is a 20% markup. There's nothing magical about this. And then you can sell to others. And the great thing about Nikken is you get paid every week. When you sell a product at retail this week, you get that retail profit next week. And there's more. We're going to have, water, I said, is the key to everything. When you sell to water systems, if you are a direct, an executive, or a silver, you will get paid a higher commissionable volume. So they're going to pay you to help you move and grow faster. That's what I love about collaborative entrepreneurship, is that everybody can do this and do it easily. Now, if you are wanting to buy one of those larger products, you might get it a little cheaper before the first of the year. You'll have to pay your shipping. So be thinking about this. Don't wait to get anything. But if you know somebody who wants to make extra money, then now is the time to talk to them. And Barbara, you wanted to say something. So take yourself off mute.
Okay, I am so excited about something that happened yesterday. I can't wait to tell somebody. Okay.
Oh, tell us.
Yesterday morning, I was curling my hair with my curling iron and I burnt my arm. Okay, on my curling iron. Ouch, and it doesn't feel good because it was on the inside of my arm where it's real tender. Okay, so don't reach around your head, number one, and try to curl your hair on the opposite side. It doesn't work very well. However, I could not find my aloe, and old habits die hard because I've always been taught burn, put aloe on it. Couldn't find my dang aloe because it's still packed up somewhere in a box that hadn't gotten unpacked yet since we moved. So I grabbed my CM cream and I thought, Kimball always says try CM cream. I'm like, okay, it can't hurt. Put CM cream on it. It's almost gone today. Mm-hmm. It immediately quit hurting and quit burning. So I'm never going to probably use aloe again. I don't even think I need to buy any.
No, you do, but yes.
I need aloe. I was just so excited. I woke up this morning, it doesn't hurt. There's hardly even a mark. And I'm like, wow. Because if I'd have put aloe on it, it would have probably still been there today. And I'd have still have it to put aloe on it. And I don't even need to put anything on it.
I'll give you another hack for burns. The far infrared. I keep a wrap in my kitchen all the time. Because when you first get burned, if you will put, and I'm an old burn nurse. I worked a burn unit for 4 years when I was much younger. But you take your hand and you put it inside the wrap and wrap it tight on it, and it will burn like fire for some minutes. But you know what? It pulls it right out. And that was something when I first came in with Nikken, I read the story of this guy that was in a flash fire in a silo on a farm. And he was all second and third degree and a lot of third. They carried him to the hospital, and his wife brought one of the comforters that, like I was showing earlier, and she laid it over him. And the next morning they downgraded all of his burns. I mean, he went from like a 80% to like a 40 and a 60. And in the burn world, that's pretty huge because 80 and 90, you may not live. I mean, so So again, we don't tell people we treat, but this is so great. I mean, you can't, when you find out about these products, you can't help but talk to other people about them, because we hear these stories and there's more and more and more stories of ways that they're helpful. So we're looking for people that want to be able to share these, and this is going to be huge. So you guys be thinking. We've got another event on Thursday night, and Cecilia is going to be our presenter that night. We'll have more great stories.
I don't have a fun song like you.
You can do the same one. And if you want, I'll be your Vanna, and I'll do it for a Christmas tree and hold them up.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that.
I always wanted to be Vanna, and I didn't have blonde hair, so I can play it this time.
I want to take the evening gown too. I'm just
Okay.
You got to get a different hat, one that'll go with your evening gown.
Yes, I'll have to have something different on. Yes. Well, I thank everybody. Has anybody got any other questions before we close today?
No, but I did expose somebody else to the water system yesterday, and I'm so excited because I got to tell them all the benefits of the water, and they're like, really? And they have a mother that's not well, that's partially paralyzed. And I said, yeah, just imagine how much it might help your mom. So I may sell a system before Christmas. We'll see.
And I will also tell you, I don't know what the paralysis is from, but people who have had strokes that use the Nikken products, even years after the stroke, sometime using them, they have seen improvement in mobility.
She was actually injured in a car accident. The airbag went off and snapped her neck, and that's why she's partially paralyzed on her left side. No, her right side. Her left side's the only thing that she's got any mobility in.
I would recommend as much Magna as you get, a sleep system would be the ideal thing for her. If she can't do that, then a sleeping bag is the next best thing. But I would get some kind of necklace on her and have her wearing that. I mean, some of the, I've just had some amazing stories, that is what keeps you going, I think, in this business. It's why I love Luis Kazuga. He has such a heart. He said, this is not about making $1 million. He says, it's about changing 1 million lives. And that's what it's about. And you know what? If you change 1 million lives, there will be, that will create a lot of money in your life. But it's really about changing the lives and hearing the stories. And we are just getting ready to let you all know. Luis Kasuga was at the helm of Nikken in Latin America. And about 2014, they were way behind the U.S. market. And Luis spent 2 years studying to figure out what he wanted to do there. And then he implemented a plan for change. And today they sign up 2,500 new consultants across Latin America every single month, 2,500. And they have blown it off the charts. And I'm going to tell you, in Latin America, those people don't have the amount of money we do here. The water systems are their number one products, and the water systems cost more over there than they do here. So people with less disposable money are buying them, and they don't have a lot of nutritionals. So they're doing this through new sales. So I am just so excited, because I will tell you, at times in business, there are just tipping points. When I bought my H&R Block franchise, that was a tipping point. That was a year that they started rapid refund. And that was where you could come in, do your taxes, and in 3 days, your refund came back to you. They were doing refund anticipation loans. Had I bought mine earlier or, before then, I would not have had the growth that I had before. But I bought it then. And I mean, we actually had the number one franchise in the United States the first year that I owned it, because I happened to be there at that tipping point. So I'm going to tell you right now, 2021, we've got a plan that goes through 2025, but 2021 is going to be a tipping point, and that's where it's going to begin. And you only get these opportunities ever so often. we're coming off, well, we're not going to be out of the pandemic in January. Let me be real clear about that, because we're getting ready to go through our darkest days. And these products are things that will help support people's immune system, so they need them. But because of that pandemic, people want the products now. After the pandemic, people have waken up. You know what? We've got to take care of our bodies. If we don't, you can't, there's not always a pill to fix it. So you've got to take care. So people are aware and awake. We've got these products at that time, and we've got someone, I mean, he is brilliant in marketing. And Ruben Yescas, Ruben is one of my favorite people at Nikin. He's the head of marketing. He's got all kinds of great ideas. This is going to be a year. We are going to get to grow this global wellness community, and we're going to grow it here, and it's going to be amazing. So I'm so excited. I mean, every day, these 3 days that I was in the summit, every day when I got off, I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I was so excited. What do I do now? Because and I was exhausted from sitting there, but I just know the lives that can be changed. So get some people, come on back on Thursday night. We're going to, the things I'll tell you, when you come to one of our events, you're going to have fun, because I don't believe you should do anything that you don't have fun with. You're going to learn something new, and we all need to learn. You're going to figure out how to control your life. So if you don't like other people controlling you, we're going to show you ways that you can control your finances and control your health. And you're going to find ways to help people, because you will hear stories. I promise you, you will hear stories about people where someone who struggles with that same thing. So next opportunity is Thursday night at 7:00. Thank you all for coming. And Melissa, I'm going to get back with you, because I need to see when you want to come by and get that stuff you wanted to try.
Okay, tomorrow, because we need to get that. I need some pain. I need some help.
Okay.
I need some duct tape.
We're gonna have a duct tape with your name right on it, and it'll be waiting for you. And I'll have you some CM samples.
Okay, thanks, Kimball.
All right, everybody, have a great day.
You too.
Nice to meet you, Melissa.
Bye.
Bye-bye.